My strongest influence, probably from farthest back, would have to be Metallica. Getting into the rock. You know, I was raised country, and that's what really brought me into the rock. Black album come out when I was pretty young, and got heavy into that. Then started getting into their older albums, and I liked their drive. They were straight up, pretty good stuff. That'd probably have to be my earliest, biggest influence. I probably have two favorite bands right now, as weird as it seems. You know, I seen Avenged Sevenfold, and those guys were awesome. I got both their CDs and stuff now, and just love the hell out of them. And then on a lighter note, The Fray I've listened to a lot lately. They're a lot more pop, a lot more high school kid, but their lyrics and their melodies and stuff I really like. So I guess I'd have to say both of them are my favorite band right now. I've been in 2am Logic since the beginning. It was a band formatting, and we pulled it together and started playing shows, and we've rolled on since then. My first show at 2am Logic was in my cousin's backyard for a joined birthday party, and hell, we had a pretty good turnout. There was probably 100 people or so in this backyard. We knew about 10 songs, and we played them over and over again until the cops showed up. I love playing in 2am Logic. It's a group of guys. I'm not gonna say we don't have our problems, but it's nothing that we've never been able to overcome, and we pull together, and when we're on the road, we make the best out of any situation, no matter how chaotic and misunderstood or overrated or whatever. We always seem to pull together, and we always have a good time. We always pull together in the hard parts. My favorite thing with the band would have to be when we was playing a showcase in Boise for the Knitting Factory, and there were 5 bands, and we were basically competing for spots to play in all intents and purposes. And our drummer was just kind of a nervous wreck, and while we were playing, he hit a cymbal, and the wing nut came off the top of the cymbal and hit him in the head, and he thought the crowd had turned on him, and so he was just so angry. He was just back there beating his drums and pulling faces, and when we got done playing, he just, we stood up, and we were gonna throw guitar picks and try to do a finale and give some stuff to the audience. And so he gets up, and he's just still all pissed off, and just takes his drumstick and just, instead of tossing it into the audience, just lops it into the audience, and ends up hitting the lead singer of one of the other bands that was playing right in the head. He got off stage, and he was just mad and just spitting fire. And we're like, I think that was that wing nut that fell off your cymbal. And he was kind of embarrassed, but that was pretty entertaining. Favorite road story. My favorite road story would be, we were headed down to Salt Lake to play a couple of bars one weekend, and we had a friend that we had made on MySpace, and Todd had chatted with her and stuff, and she decided she wanted to roll with us. She actually lived in Ogden, so we stopped and picked her up, and she was an exotic dancer. She was fairly tattooed up, and she just wanted to come hang out with us for the weekend. So we're like, hey, we're cruising through, we'll just stop and pick you up. And so we pull into, I believe it was a Kmart parking lot, to meet up with her so she can just ride with us to the shows. And we have a 4-door pickup. There's 5 of us in there already. We pull up and see her and her friend changing clothes in the parking lot, and they're wearing bikini tops and whatnot. And So they just jump in and rolled with us, and we had a good time. I mean, we pulled up to the venue, and these just gorgeous chicks jump out with us, dressed in bikini tops and stuff, and we pull up to the venue, and the other bands we were playing with were just like, wow, you know, who the hell are these guys? That was a pretty good time. Oh, I think we're good. I think, you know, we climbed steadily, and I think we'll just hopefully keep climbing, and, you know, I'll ride it till the end. I don't need to be rich and famous, but I'd love to be still playing some badass shows, and, you know, rich and famous would be cool, but it's not the point of the deal. So as long as we're still running strong and still going good in 10 years, I'm damn happy with it. My favorite 2am song is ironically one we never really play. It would probably have to be Soul for Sale, just because how it came about. I was working one day, and Todd called me and he says, "Hey, are you out and about?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "Swing by my work." He says, "I wrote this song and it's totally different. It's totally cool." And so I drive into his work, and his boss was out to lunch, and so we go into his boss's office and close the door. And you know Todd's cool when he packs a guitar to work and writes songs at work. And you know, we go in there and he's like, "Check this out," and he sets the lyrics up on the drawing board in his boss's office and played me Soul for Sale. And it's just, you know, the way his voice went deeper and stuff, it was different than the other stuff we'd had so far. And you know, it was cool to hear, and then when it came around, it was pretty cool. That'd probably have to be one of my favorites. I would play a show in Madison Square Garden, but only if I could sell it out faster than John Mayer and Bon Jovi. Because that's kind of a running joke with Todd and I. Oh, the hardest thing in the world is a balanced band and family life. We've caused a few divorces and pulled through, I guess. But yeah, it's a full-time job. I mean, your family demands a lot of you, and your band demands even more. So it's definitely a hard one to balance. There's times that I balance one more than the other, and you know, it all kind of comes around. I think we all do that, but it's definitely a tough one to balance. I admire them all. You know, Sean's got the beat, and Pate's got the energy, and Todd's got the drive. I'd probably have to say Dustin more than a little bit others, just because I'm kind of the fly-by-my-pants guy. I guess I kind of do well under pressure, so I just don't sweat it much. I just jump up there and play, maybe not rehearse quite as much. Whereas Dustin's a very, very disciplined guy. I mean, if we learn something new, he don't sleep for 2 days until he can play it frontwards and backwards as fast as he can. Even if it's a slow song, he goes home and just beats it out until he can play it until his fingers bleed. And you know, I admire that, because that's not a trait I'm real strong with. So it's good to know we got it in the band. Pulls a lot together here and there. My family both influences and supports my career. You know, my grandpa was always playing old-time fiddlers. He did the bar bands, he'd play weddings, he'd do all that. So I mean, he totally influenced my guitar playing. And you know, like my dad comes to shows and he's like, you know, "What are you guys doing taking a break?" Grandpa never took a break. He'd play for 5-6 hours, not take a break. You know, there's a big influence there. Support-wise, absolutely every single show that anybody that can make it to with the family they're always there. You know, like, always a whole table full of them. They're always hooting and screaming and shouting and, you know, taking pictures. And stuff like that. So it's just pretty lucky that way. I got a pretty solid group that's behind me all the way. Hell, there's so many to respect. I have to say the one I just love to shake his hand would probably be one of my favorites. Would be Slash. The guy, you know, I think he ad-libs 98% of the time. He's like, you know, hey, it's close and it's emotional. You know, he just, every little note he hits fits, and you can feel it. You know, it's the emotion in the song that makes the song, and there's only two things that really can show the emotion, and that's the vocals and the lead guitar. And Slash just really pulls that off. So I'd have to say it'd be Slash. I think what makes a band is cooperation. You know, it's not always one guy's way. There are times when it's one guy's way, and then there's times when it's the other guy's way, and then there's times where it takes all of you, and then there's, you know, there's just times where none of you are happy, but it's for the betterment of the band. And it's just, I think it's a balance of understanding that it's the cooperation of everybody that makes it strong, that pulls it together. And, you know, a band isn't all the practice in the background and all the hard work and the, you know, the fighting for advertising and fighting for shows. A band is what the audience sees when you play a show. And so as long as the group realizes that the end product is the main goal and can pull together through all the background stuff, you know, the background stuff is what we feel we need to do to get what we want. But what makes a band is being able to pull it together, get it where you want to be, and have the crowd like it. I feel what makes 2am Logic strong is simply that we play the music that we like, and it comes across. Lucky for us, it's a genre that seems to relate to a lot of people. I feel like that's really pulled us in a crowd, and you know, it's luck. Every band plays the stuff that they want to play, but you know, some bands touch people and some bands don't, and it's all a luck thing. I don't think anybody should stray from what they feel, but I think what makes us strong is that we play the stuff that we write, the stuff that we like, and the crowd responds to it, and in return we feed off that, we keep going, and it just rolls. That would be our strength, I would say. When we're on the road, you get emotional. My shoulder would have to be, you know, it's really several people. I hold in my emotions until it gets to a certain point, and then I don't know. I'm not a severely private person, but I am to an extent. And you know, Todd's a good shoulder for me. Me and Todd go way back. Tina, my girlfriend, she's great to me. I can call her and talk to her, and she'll tell me to suck it up. And I don't know. I think we all lean on each other, but those would probably be the two shoulders I would hit. Fans are great. I mean, I play music because I love it, but if nobody else loves it, then it's really no sense leaving my basement. But you know, it's when you see the same fans and they come up and they call your name out and just want you to wave to them, and they're just damn happy you remember their names. And you know, we've always said that all of us, one of the coolest things, and you know, every band I've ever played with said that one of the coolest things in the world is when you're playing a show and the fans are singing the lyrics back to you. You know, that means that they didn't just show up to a show because they won free tickets on a radio station thing, or you know, that means that they've listened to your music and they like your music. And you know, to see the same fans showing up time and time again doing that, that's probably what really makes it have the energy it has and makes it worthwhile. I'd say to the fans, keep it up. I mean, if you like the music, by all means, keep coming. Don't be scared to give us critical feedback. You know, we're just like everybody else. We're not perfect. We can always do more, and we're always willing to do more. So let us know what you'd like to see and what you didn't like, and just keep the communications up. Communication with the fans is key, so I encourage that a lot. I just like to thank the band. We've pulled through some times. I say we keep it up.